Hey, did you see those wild finishes in the game ones? Now that's championship drama. Across the NBA and the NHL, we had overtime heroics in the Stanley Cup Finals, and we had a buzzer-beating finish in the NBA Finals. While in the NFL, there was a roster move that dominated the headlines. Let's take a look. Hey, let's start with the NHL. The NHL Stanley Cup Finals, Game 1, the Edmonton Oilers 4, the Florida Panthers 3. That was in overtime. Now, the Edmonton Oilers staged a remarkable comeback to defeat the Florida Panthers 4-3, and it's the first time since 1990 that the Edmonton Oilers have had a lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. They set the tone for what promises to be an epic championship series. As we know, this is a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup Finals, and this year we see Leon Draisaitl emerge as a hero. He scored in just the first 66 seconds of the game. It was the fastest Stanley Cup goal since 1976 and delivered the game-winning power play goal in overtime off a brilliant feed from Connor McDavid. The Panthers initially seized control of the game through the goals from Sam Bennett and Brad Marchand. It was in the first period, with Bennett adding his second goal early in the second period to give Florida a 3-1 lead. However, the Oilers demonstrated their championship resilience as Victor Arvidsson quickly cut the deficit with a powerful slap shot before McDavid set up Mattias Ekholm on the crucial tying goal with 6 minutes and 33 seconds left in the third period. With Leon, Connor, and Stewart all leading the way for the Oilers, they take a 1-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. Now remember, Leon had 2 goals, including an overtime winner. He tied a Stanley Cup playoff record with 3 overtime goals and a single postseason with his goal. Connor McDavid had 2 assists, extending his playoff assist total to 22. Sam Bennett, for the Florida Panthers, had 2 goals and a franchise record for most goals in a single postseason, his 12th. And you have the Oilers' Stuart Skinner, 29 saves, including 10 in overtime, settling down after early struggles. Now the other Game 1, the NBA Finals Game 1, where the Indiana Pacers won 111 to Oklahoma City's 110. One of the most thrilling NBA openers in recent memory. The Indiana Pacers completed a stunning 15-point fourth quarter comeback to defeat the Thunder by 1 point, with Tyrese Haliburton delivering a clutch 21-foot pull-up jumper with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. The victory marked the Pacers' 5th comeback from a deficit of 15 points or more during the 2025 playoffs, the most by any team in a single postseason since 1998. Despite committing 20 first-half turnovers and struggling early against the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who scored a game-high 38 points on 14 of 30 shooting, the Pacers demonstrated remarkable composure in the closing moments. Haliburton's game winner capped an extraordinary clutch performance that was defined by his entire playoff run. He now has 5 go-ahead or game-tying shots in the final 5 seconds of playoff games, tied with Pacers legend Reggie Miller and trailing only LeBron James since 1997. Then you have social media after the game being what social media is, saying the Pacers stole Game 1 from Oklahoma City. You have Tyrese Haliburton hits the game winner, and ESPN saying, what the Haliburton? Again, Tyrese wins Game 1 of the NBA Finals for the Pacers. Some interesting stuff. Hey, did you hear? The Canadian Football League started this week. Saskatchewan defeated Ottawa 31-26 in the opener. Speaking of Canada, the Canadian Open begins its 114th edition, played at the TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley. This year, after the first round, Olesen from Norway has the lead with 9 under at 61. The round positioned Olesen 3 shots ahead of the field in the prestigious tournament that serves as the second oldest non-major championship on the PGA Tour. Now, world number 2, Roy, is seeking his 3rd Canadian title. He faced early struggles though with 2 bogeys on the opening 9 holes, but fought back with consecutive birdies to finish the day at even par. The French Open had its semifinals. The 2025 French Open continued dramatic progression as defending champion Carlos Alcaraz advanced to his 2nd consecutive final at Roland Garros. He defeated the Italian Lorenzo Musetti, who was forced to retire after injuring his thigh during the match. Now, after the match, Alcaraz was very sympathetic to Musetti, saying he never wants to win like that. But he will move on to the finals, where he will play another Italian in Yannick Sinner, who defeated Djokovic today in 3 sets. It is a rematch of the Italian Open from 2 weeks ago. In the WNBA, we see the New York Liberty defeated the Mystics of Washington 86-78, while the Mercury from Phoenix secured an 86-77 victory over the Golden State Valkyries. This is an ongoing regular season storylines that will help us understand the pursuit of the playoffs as we move forward. As we wrap up, let's go back to college, this time college softball, where tonight Texas versus Texas Tech will decide the Women's College World Series. The following game is set to be played in a winner-take-all match, or setup. Part of the story is how Texas Tech's pitcher, Najari Kennedy, has just re-signed a 7-figure deal to come back to Texas Tech next year. The agreement is with the Matador Club of the Red Raiders Collective. You heard this from Ramona Shelburne, who broke the story on ESPN. Congratulations to Kennedy on her re-signing for next year. And our last stop takes us to the NFL, where we have roster moves and transactions. The NFL landscape is changing a little bit as Aaron Rodgers has decided to play another year, this time with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The 41-year-old quarterback signed yesterday, ending speculation about his future after a disappointing tenure with the New York Jets that included an Achilles injury in his first season and then a 5-12 record after he returned. Rodgers' move to Pittsburgh reunites him with a playoff caliber organization that has reached the playoffs in 4 of the last 5 seasons. Also, we see the Baltimore Ravens signed Rashad Bateman, a wide receiver for 3 years and $36 million, with a $20 million guarantee. He is a key offensive weapon, trying to help Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens reach the Super Bowl. Well, that was June 5th. Hopefully you remember it as the action-packed day it was. We had the Stanley Cup, we had the NBA playoffs, we have NFL signings, we have softball, we have, lots of things going on. So hopefully we'll remember June 5th for what it was. Pretty exciting day. And until next time, thanks for watching.